What's up? Bailey here. And for those who don't know me, I'm a virtual assistant, OBM, and mentor for people who want to start their own virtual assistant business. I left my toxic 9-to-5 4 years ago, and since then have built a business that I'm proud of, that provides me the freedom that I desire, and that pays the bills to boot. And I'm here to show you how you can do it too. We all have habits. They are the little routines that we repeat so many times they become automatic. And they could be anything from brushing your teeth twice a day, biting your nails, or maybe buying a coffee every morning. Most of our habits are harmless, but there are some that you don't want to have because they can harm your body, your social life, or your business. I know more than most that bad habits are hard to identify and even harder to break. I've struggled with breaking bad habits my entire life, from eating out a lot to picking my nails when I'm nervous. To make things a bit easier, I'll be talking about the 5 toxic habits that you need to quit immediately. Now, this list isn't all-inclusive, but it does touch upon some of the most important habits to break for a better life. Are you ready? Good. Because we're diving right in with the first one, and I bet that most of you suffer from this: comparing yourself to others. This one is a hard one for me as well. As a business owner and human being, I found myself comparing myself to businesses and others and beating myself up when my chapter 1 isn't the same as someone else's chapter 20. Playing the comparison game sucks. When we compare ourselves to someone else, we're trying to match an unrealistic standard. If we fail to match that standard, which we often do, we can feel jealous, self-pity, and in some cases, depression. What's even worse is that some people decide that their dreams aren't worth it because they'll never reach that level of success, beauty, or whatever trait that other person has. You can see how toxic this mindset is, right? Comparing ourselves to others robs us of our confidence and can cause so many other side effects to your life and business. That's why it's the first toxic habit I want you to drop from your life. Right around here is when you're likely asking, but how? In its place, I want you to start comparing yourself to the only person you can compare to, who you were yesterday. You're a different person today than you were in the past, and the success and growth you've achieved in that time is the only success story that matters. There is a quote that I heard online that goes along the lines of, "You can't see your growth because you're constantly raising the bar for yourself." When you stop comparing yourself to others and reflect on the growth, progress, or success you've had in the past, that's where the magic happens. Next up on the toxic habits, we have lack of sleep or quality sleep. Now, for moms that are trying to run a business or get through the newborn stage, I know this likely might not be a habit by choice. But for those of you who just had to stay up to watch the next episode of a show on Netflix, or go out for 1, 2, maybe 5 drinks at the bar, think about this video the next time you're sacrificing your sleep. Now, I'm not saying that you should never stay up late, go out, or have fun. That's what weekends, holidays, and days off are for. Skipping sleep can cause a ton of physical and mental symptoms. Not only are you tired all the time, but your immune system is weaker and you don't heal as efficiently. Mentally, you can't process information as quickly, solve complex problems, and can become more stressed as time goes on. I don't know about you, but running a business is already hard enough with my brain only running on half capacity. And honestly, who needs more stress in their lives? Now for the good news. This habit is an easier one to break. Set a reasonable bedtime, say 10 or 11 p.m., and stick to it. Turn off the TV, put your phone somewhere out of reach, and let your mind relax. Either read a book or simply lay down and process the day. You'll be amazed at how much more focused and calm you are after you get a few solid days of proper sleep. One thing that was a game changer for me in tracking my sleep was my Fitbit. While it's definitely not 100% accurate, it does give you a better idea of how long you're sleeping, and it's probably a lot less time than you'd think. Another toxic habit we need to quit is, give me a moment, procrastinating. Everyone procrastinates, myself included, and while the reasons and methods vary from one person to the next, it's harmful and it needs to be broken. When we procrastinate, we're putting off a task until we feel ready to tackle it. And stalling can make an otherwise simple task stretch on forever, stay in the back of our minds, likely stress us out to some degree, all while once you complete it, it's generally a lot simpler than you expected and takes way less time than you spent procrastinating. Procrastinating can also make us miss important deadlines or opportunities that could help us improve our lives. Instead of procrastinating, let's start forming habits that help us tackle that task head on. When you get a new task, don't put it off. Tackle it as soon as it comes in. This is, of course, for things that don't require hours of your time. For example, if you have an email that requests an attachment, answer it now. Don't read it, file it, forget about it, and then have them come back in a few days asking for that attachment. At this point, you've already spent likely 5 to 10 minutes on a task that could have been completed in less than 2. For larger tasks that might require hours of your time, do these first thing in the morning as soon as you sit down so that you have accomplished something right off the bat, and so that you can't talk yourself into putting it off. Next up, we have a habit that a lot of you probably won't like to hear, but let me tell you, it's a game changer. That's removing toxic relationships from your life. I'm not just talking about marriages or romantic relationships. Any relationship can be toxic. Friends and family are included in that as well. The people we choose to surround ourselves with are supposed to love and support us, but not all of them do. Toxic relationships increase your adrenaline because you're never sure how the other person will react to information. It can also leave you feeling insecure about yourself, make you isolate yourself from others, and increase your risk of heart-related problems. Toxic relationships come in all forms and flavors. Verbal abuse, emotional abuse or neglect, physical abuse, and financial abuse are all signs of a toxic relationship, and I urge you to cut those people out of your lives. Now, different people will require different solutions, but if they are truly toxic, it's important to block their numbers, delete them off social media, and remove yourself from their reach so that you can live a healthier, happier existence with the relationships that benefit you. It's extremely difficult to cut people out of your lives, but your physical and mental health will thank you in the long run. Do you know what else will thank you in the long run? I will. If you'll please take a second to like this video and hit the subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. Lastly, let's talk about the habit of treating ourselves poorly. Life causes us to do some pretty bad things to our bodies, including overeating, smoking, drinking, and overall making bad decisions about our health. I'm just as guilty of these as you are. At the beginning of this video, I talked about how one of my bad habits is eating out. Well, spoiler alert, that food is usually not very healthy. Now, once in a while is fine, but a habit of it becomes a problem. When you overeat or indulge in junk food, you risk gaining weight, developing diabetes, or other chronic diseases. A glass of wine can be healthy in moderation, but overdrinking can increase your risk of liver damage, high blood pressure, cancer, and digestive problems, not to mention the effect it has on your personality for some people. Then there's smoking. Smoking increases your risk of cancer and heart disease, and it can cause permanent lung damage. It also damages your finances because every dollar spent on a pack of cigarettes could go to towards something that makes you happier or healthier in your life. Isn't it time we treat ourselves like the beautiful humans that we are? Pay attention to your body. Swap out your fast food and processed snacks in favor of healthier options. Limit your drinking, quit smoking, and throw in some weekly exercises for good measure. You'll be amazed at how incredible your body will feel after a few days. While I don't have all of these vices, I know it's easier said than done, and some habits, like quitting smoking, will take longer than others for your body to rid itself of the chemicals that it's used to. One thing that helped me with my eating out habit was to shift my mindset and not just the habit itself. I want to live a healthy lifestyle and treat my body better. This includes working out, but also eating healthier. Now, when a bad day rolls around and I want to go grab McDonald's, I ask myself if this serves my healthy lifestyle that I'm creating. Answer, no. And instead, I'll make something at home that might not be the healthiest, but it's also not deep fried and full of grease. By breaking these toxic habits, we can become better, healthier people, and let me tell you how good it feels when you start putting yourself and your health first. Breaking habits aren't easy in any sense of the word. One book I found incredibly helpful was Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a helpful, easy to understand breakdown of what a habit is, how we create habits, and how to change our habits for the better. He uses what he calls the 4 laws of habits to help us make or break the habits that are controlling us, and I wouldn't have broken my bad habits without that book. Now, remember that bad habits weren't built in a day, and they won't be broken in a day either. Give yourself grace and keep moving towards breaking those bad habits. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit the subscribe button below, smash that like button, and don't forget about the notification bell, which allows you to be the first to know when I post a new video. I create videos all about how to start your own virtual assistant business, and I get very real about the trials and tribulations of being a business owner. You don't want to miss it.